So, with AEW Fight Forever scheduled to come out at the end of June this year, the question obviously everybody has is how much of a one and done is the game going to be? Because a lot of people here on YouTube and social media, like let's say Kerry Baum, who's been uploading videos because he's staying up to date to what's going on the progress of the game, before it's released. He recently said in a recent video that he believes there will be a sequel, even though AEW has come out along with the AEW Games Division and Ukes, and it said basically there's not going to be a need for a sequel because this will be one of those one and done games that is constantly updated on a regular basis. In other words, basically we'll have content coming out of the wazoo, if you will, to make it and keep it as fresh, as the day it was released. And this is a good question to wonder, whether or not it's going to sustain the promise of being a one and done. Because everybody knows that when you're a game that gets released, or you basically release a game, and you say that this game, especially if it's a fighting game of any kind, you're basically coming out and saying, yeah, this game's going to be one and done. You're not going to have to worry about any more games after this, any more sequels for quite some time. Everybody knows that you're going to have to really live up to that promise. You're going to really have to live up to it by paying attention, very, closely to what fans want to see in the game and what, fans, are expecting. Like what they want to see and what they expect. And by that merit right there, you're basically putting a lot of responsibility on your shoulder, because now not only do you have to give them what they expect, to be in the game, on possibly the next patch, update, DLC, whatever, but you also got to, keep an eye out for what they would like to see. Like, basically certain elements they want to see in the game, but right now it doesn't seem possible, but you're going to try your damnedest to make it a reality. Basically being a one and done, by coming out and saying that, you're putting all that responsibility on your shoulder. And when it comes to a wrestling game, a sporting game of any kind that puts themselves in that equation, you're basically saying that not only are you going to keep updated with everything that's currently going on in real time, but you're also going to keep updated with the roster. You're going to keep updated with, the events and everything. You're going to keep updated with the change in design of, let's say, championships, or change in design, of attire, uniforms, colors, and stuff like that. You're basically committing yourself to keep up to date with that, to the point that as you keep up to date, you will hope to try to integrate it into the game so that the game itself feels like it's still new and fresh as the day it was released. So, as far as AEW games go, and Ukes go, can they fulfill that promise? That's the question. Can they fulfill it? And right now, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because you got a big enough roster in AEW and Ring of Honor combined that you won't need to worry about any true roster updates, for quite some time, unless it's a new addition here and there. And I think that's also what they mean by saying, hey, we'll be a one and done, and we're going to update. We're going to update certain parts of the game, like roster and all that. But I think they mean that when it comes to any new signing to the company. That's right. I mean, let's say, for example, and there's no way it would ever happen. Let's be honest. There's no way it would ever happen. But let's say, for example, who would be the most unexpected, surprising person to go in there? Let's say Randy Orton. Okay, let's say WWE's Randy Orton. Let's say, for the benefit of the doubt, he's a lifer in WWE right now. We know that. He's WWE for life. That's pretty much a foregone conclusion. But let's say Randy was to get released, and immediately after his contract expires, he signs with AEW. Let's say that happens, and he debuts on Dynamite or the pay-per-view. Then if AEW Games and Ukes are committed to being one and done with this game and updating it on a constant basis, rosters, events, mini games, whatever, attire and all that, whatever. If they are truly committed to being one and done and, with this game, and that's the only thing you have to worry about is the updates, then what they would do after Randy would debut, if you will, after Randy would debut, is all they have to do is basically, hold on for a sec. I knew that was going to happen. Hold on. Hold on for a sec, guys. Sorry, I had a feeling the phone was going to call. Oh, ring, I should say. But anyway, like I was saying, let's say, they are committed. They stay committed to this. And let's say, like I said, Randy Orton, ends up a free agent and goes to AEW, after he's healed up from his back injury. Not saying that's going to happen, but let's just say, like I said, for the sake of argument. Then what they would do is they basically probably, when the time, presents itself, take Randy aside, do the face capturing for him, like a lot of these kind of games do, face capturing and, also maybe ring attire and all that. And then on a future update or DLC, he would be added into the game. That's exactly what would happen. It's kind of like what WWE's done recently, with 2K23. Some of the recent patch updates have not just been addressing certain glitches and things that need to be fixed, but they've been also adding in new roster members. Members of the roster that you didn't think were in there originally, but you heard about but weren't there at the start, and yet here they are in these updates. Not part of DLC, but part of an update. And that's kind of what they're saying here, what AEW is saying. That if someone like a Randy Orton, was to debut, then Randy basically would be added into the game in a future update. He would be. The same with, let's say, Kota Ibushi. Let's say Kota Ibushi debuts tonight, or makes his debut in AEW tonight. Let's say Kota Ibushi makes his debut tonight. They could add Kota into the game, on an update. They could face screen him tonight, get a look at maybe his, recent matches or whatever, and then maybe in the first update of the year for the game after it's released, he'd be part of the update as an added addition to the roster. You kind of see what I'm saying? Basically what I'm pointing out is if they are committed to being a one and done, then they're going to have to really, be on their feet. They're going to really have to be paying close attention to a lot of the new additions to the roster, a lot of the new, outfits and attire changes, for certain people on the roster. Maybe, new looks for the show in the event, in the pay-per-views. They're going to have to be on the lookout for that. So they're going to have to really pay close attention. In fact, one of the things that people I know are going to expect to be added into the game, maybe, not on the first update, but very soon afterwards, maybe on the second or third update, fans are going to expect the AEW Collision Arena. Yes, we're getting the Dynamite Arena, there's no doubt. We're probably getting the Rampage Arena. And we're probably going to get Dark and Dark Elevation. But I guarantee you, fans are going to expect in a future update Collision. They're going to expect that, and maybe by extension, just to, throw them a little, Easter egg or bone, they might get the Ring of Honor Arena. You never know. You see, if they are committed to making this a reality, with this game, by keeping it up to date, being a one and done, they've got a lot of responsibility to hang on their shoulders. They have a lot of responsibility to hang on their shoulders and to really, keep from falling off. They do. Because if it falls off, if they don't stay steadfast on their commitment for this to be a one and done and have it constantly updated, when the time and opportunity presents itself, then fans are definitely going to, maybe without a shadow of a doubt, get on them. They will get on them, and they're going to probably expect them to have to, release a sequel, a follow-up game to this, to add in some of the things that they didn't with this one because they couldn't fulfill the promise of having this be a one and done. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the question obviously is, can AEW, Fight Forever be a one and done game? We'll have to see. But give me your thoughts overall, guys. What are your thoughts? Do you think AEW Fight Forever will be able to keep that up, keep that promise to be a one and done? Or do you think we are going to probably get a sequel, a follow-up, a Fight Forever 2, out of AEW? Let me know down below in the comments, as well as the live chat during the premiere. Like the video, and until next time, guys, I am out.